from New York. It's Wednesday night. Dela, live from Texas.
That's right. Where it's
back
no
in
longer
Texas.
no longer freezing.
I have a lot of questions about the snow, but I'm kind of over it. But I do have a couple questions.
Ask
But
anything you
the
want.
first thing of why James isn't here is because he's a piece of shit. So let's just get the elephant out of the room.
There we go. We got that
shit
clear.
too. You know what he's doing? He's dodging. You know why?
Why is that? He's
Because
stuck in
we
Butte.
found out recently we were on a call, all the group of friends, and
Right.
he was on the call and he was drunk with his mom.
Right.
And they were
Why?
because he was with his mom, and anyway, it doesn't matter. They were doing. I don't know why he was with his mom. He was very drunk, and James told his story from when he was younger about how this kid that he was best friends with, puts his underwear on his head. The kid puts James's underwear on his head, and it gets stuck. And James's mom has to come upstairs and cut the underwear off this kid's head. So we're on the call. I don't know why it comes up, but James brings it up, and the mom doesn't remember the story. She's like, that never happened. So now we're just confused. James, did you make up this story about the underwear on this kid's head?
Right.
And he just no, I swear it's true. But it's dude, if your mom came upstairs and cut underwear off this kid's head and she doesn't remember it, why would we believe you?
Exactly.
That's such a weird thing to
It
lie
never
about.
happened.
It never happened. And now we're just trying to find out, James, why would you lie to us about that? What is going on? And we can't find out now. And the kid's weird now, really weird. He's really into the My Little Ponies, and nobody's reaching out to him. So James is gonna have to reach out to him and find out why.
What happened?
What happened, or if it didn't happen, and we are going to report it. And if James, so we made a bet, if James is lying to us, and this kid doesn't say that James's story is true, then James is gonna have to hang out with this kid again and recreate it.
What age were they when this happened?
Unknown. We don't even know if it did happen, Della. So I don't know if any of it's true. Maybe they were 10. Maybe they were 16. I don't know.
That's
the kid was a little off. I mean, I don't know why James is allowing the kid to put his underwear on his head. What reason did he have to do that? And I asked James, James, why would this kid do this? What were you guys doing in the room that he's putting your underwear on his head? So you're telling me the way that this story plays out in your mind to us is that this kid, for no reason, you step out of the room, he finds your stinky underwear, and he puts it on his head. You don't know why. And then you come back up, the underwear's stuck on his head, and you'll be like, Mom, come up. This kid's got my underwear stuck on his head. You got to cut. And then she's like, oh, I got to cut it off. And then she doesn't remember this story, and you don't know why he did it. And none of it's and then you're just regaling us with fake news.
Right. Sounds like James.
So we don't know. Now he's been dodging us ever since because he's nervous to reach out to the kid because he doesn't know if the story is going to be corroborated or not.
Right. He's gonna have to become that creepy kid's best friend.
Yeah, and that's his own choices. James could just told us the truth. Now's the time to come clean, and James is not willing to come clean.
Exactly.
But we're gonna find out what's going on with James and when he's ready to come clean, because we're gonna find out if he was also putting underwear on his head.
Right.
Maybe that's the truth.
Maybe that's where you got it from. The idea.
And maybe the truth is he got stuck on his head, and his mom didn't need to come up, and they just pulled it off each other's heads. We don't know.
We don't know. That's true.
We're not gonna know. We're not gonna know until James reaches out to this kid and finds out what's going on. But I know exactly what's going on. And anyway, so you're done with you're the one ruining this podcast. We are going straight down in the ratings because we're missing weeks off because you're in Texas doing God only knows what. Why would you even be in Texas? Why don't Ted Cruz bails immediately. You're telling me you could go to LA, you could go to New York, you could go anywhere, and you're sitting there like a ding dong with no heat, no water. What's going on there? What was happening?
Well, what was happening was, unlike Ted Cruz, I don't live near the highway that takes you directly to the airport. He does. So,
is that a better part of town?
Yes, he's in the richest part of the city of Houston. So, and that's near downtown. So I don't live there. And so for me to get to the highway, it's 8 miles of ice road, back roads, right? And then you get to the highway, and then you can go to the airport. So I could not do that without dying, especially because people in Houston don't know how to drive. So I'm sure, and plus I'm sure Ted Cruz found a way to get somebody to finesse something to where he could get to the airport without anybody bothering him. However, it was crazy last week, right? We had no power for 4.5 days. We had no water for like 2 days because the pipes froze. And it was like 10 degrees, right? So everyone's just freezing in their homes because the governors were so stupid, deregulated everything, made it to where they didn't have to winterize anything, and
Why would
it
they? What, are they
froze.
going to winterize everything all the time? It's kind of
Well, they
bullshit.
should. No. I mean, like whenever.
How,
I
winter there. Let's be real.
No, but they had this freeze like freezes like this happen in Texas like once every 5 to 7 years. So they had previous opportunities to do something about it.
I'm not buying it, Dela. You got to convince me, conservative Johnny over here. You're telling me you sound like a liberal. You sound like a libtard if you're asking me.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. The
you
conservative Johnnies. Here's what the conservative Johnny's gonna know. Because of this whole event, right? That probably caused natural gas prices. Texas consumers are going to pay these prices for what happened for the next 10 to 30 years, right? So it's going to make higher electricity prices for everybody for a very long time because of it. Like they can't absorb the cost. So that's what conservative.
But no, they're going to get like a bailout. No.
There's what bailout for what?
I don't know. Somebody give them a bailout. Big gas is going to get a bailout.
No, they're on their own grid. Why would you give them a
big energy like Enron? Somebody's getting a bailout.
Now, Enron didn't get bailed out.
I know they were committing fraud, but I'm saying if they needed a bailout, I'm sure the government would have stepped in and bailed them out.
Of course, but not anymore, right? Back then we were at a surplus. Now no more bailouts. No one gets those, unless you're the airline industry.
It's so absurd. So they didn't weatherize any of the shit. I'm so sick of Texas. It's stupid. But so you know what? So what? But I have a question for you. The problem that I don't never get with Texas is like they're always so like delusional and they get brainwashed so quickly that right now I bet they're all, if you text to the average Texan, not somebody in yuppity Houston like a Ted Cruz that knows exactly what's going on, but if you text to the average Texan, they're probably going, yeah, well, this is what happens when you get the Green New Deal. Right?
Right.
It's what happens when you have wind and solar. It all freezes, and that's the only stuff that froze, and not the natural gas. That would have been good if we did all natural gas. But no, what's James messaging me? My meeting ran long. James Milano here. The meeting ran long. James, what meeting? You don't even have you work as a nurse. What meeting? You mean your patient? You had to change too many diapers? Every day with the meetings, man. Anyway. All right, well, get on now. We started. That's what I'm going to write to him. Yeah. I'm like an old man. I read my texts before I write them. All right, he should be on next time.
But by the way, your mic sounds muffled now. I don't know what happened.
The mic sounds muffled. You should have told me that. I could have fucking
just now.
Oh.
Okay. So I don't know what happened. There you go, much better.
Because I turned it I put in the AirPods because I was nervous that we would get the reverb. I know how to use technology. I'm very technological. I run this whole goddamn podcast.
So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Right? Click. I got another screen here. I got keyboards and
right.
And
you got
USB ports. What is this, Dela? You ever seen one of these?
I do. That's
Mr. Fancy Pants. And when you see one of these, these are AirPods.
That's what these are.
You know what this is? A watch. It used to tell time back in the kids in my day. They used to have watches.
Well, this is an Apple Watch. We tell time in the future.
I would have an Apple Watch, but I don't want things on my wrist. I feel like I'm like a prisoner.
No, I just bought this 2 weeks ago.
Have you ever seen Aladdin?
Of course. What? Of course.
Well, I'm trying to relate to you on this level of the watch. I don't want to just assume you've seen Aladdin. You won't even know what I'm talking about then. The genie. You know how he has those cufflinks, those chains?
That's right, yeah, those chains, yeah.
That's me when I'm wearing the watch. I'm like a prisoner. I need to be set free. My wrist is so constrained. I'm just cutting off circulation.
Well, then buy a looser watch. It's not
about the tightness of the watch, Del. It's automatic. Look at this.
Yeah, but
this is loose.
That is loose.
Does this have to do with penis size? No, right?
No.
That's a false. That's a legend. That's a myth.
Sure.
Well, anyway, we're not going to get into that. All I'm saying is that this is constricting. Like, I don't like this.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, I don't know.
Dude, you do it. Well, you're already wearing the watch.
I've been wearing watches since I was in high school.
Okay,
so,
well, you're more adept at it. I don't need to know the time, to be honest with you. I got plenty of things to take up my day.
That explains a lot, so that's okay.
Oh, now James is calling me. This guy, James, what's up?
Dan, I just got out of the meeting. They changed it. It really did me dirty.
So what are you doing? What are you gonna do?
This guy knew about this meeting and didn't tell us.
I'm walking home.
All right, you gotta get off from your phone.
I gotta walk and talk.
Well,
yes.
You want this audio?
Well, we're talking Texas right now, and like, if you want to get in, you don't really need to say that much. It's a very important business. Dela's giving us the whole scope of like why he loves Texas, even though it sucks.
Oh wow, that's a great synopsis. All right, well, I guess I'll call from this phone.
Yeah, call from your phone, and when you get in, you get set up. You'll be back on the screen, and we'll blast you.
Exactly.
All right, I'm ready to get blasted.
All right, see ya. Kid's a complete fucking nerd, if we're being honest. Anyway, as I was saying, you got me all riled about this stupid watch. It doesn't even matter, Dela. I
never said it matters.
You did. You started talking about watches because you got all hooked up on technology. I'm not going into your tangents anymore. I'm trying to focus on the facts here.
Focus on the facts. What are the facts?
The facts is that it's so stupid that they're blaming this on natural gas failed too. All natural gas, stupid power sources failed in your stupid state.
Natural gas failed the most, right? Because like natural gas is like, I mean, if I remember right, natural gas is for winter time we switched more to gas. So it's about in the mid 80s or low 80% of energy source for Texas in the winter is from natural gas. So that failed because natural gas needs water to extract gas, right? So if the water freezes in the pipe,
I don't know this shit. Why are you acting like I'm some kind of geologist? I
know this because I used to work in this. So I'll tell you that like.
Why are you working for this? What are you?
I worked in oil and gas. I worked in oil and gas.
Arthur Anderson.
I worked in oil and gas for 4 years.
You worked at an accounting firm, PwC.
No, I worked at KKR. We did straight up oil and gas.
KKR. I don't like that name at all. You're one letter too close to something that's not good, Dela.
I know. My dad calls it KKK. So
yeah, it sounds like it. Big Energy sounds like it's got other underlying schemes going on.
There are a lot of schemes going on.
Big Energy is not the most liberal group of people. That's like old-timey shit.
That's right. They're definitely pro
so okay, so you got to get water to extract the pipes. Let's go. Give me some more energy facts.
Yeah, so when you're extracting gas, you need essentially the water to pump into the ground for it to come out. Okay.
I love water. I'm Dela. Okay, go on.
Yeah, exactly. So because the pipes aren't winterized, pretty much when you get to like about 30 degrees, right, slightly below freezing, everything just fucking broke.
Right.
So they don't
winterize them, but they have other states winterize their equipment.
That's correct. So
codes and shit.
Right. So whenever we were working stuff in South Bend, North Dakota, everything is very thick-walled pipes. That's why it costs a fortune to drill up there. It's because you have to winterize everything, right?
And who pays for the winterizing of these pipes and these gas lines?
It depends on the setup. Most of the time, it's the energy provider who is, or I guess energy distributor. I'm sorry, who is the one who pays for winterization.
Who do I got here? Con Ed. Fuck them.
You're in New York, so it's Con Ed has electricity. Natural Grid has gas for New York City. So those two are in charge of winterization.
And so they're regulated by the state.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
And yours, they're not regulated by the state.
They are regulated. So sorry, every state has regulations, but Texas deregulated it from the sense of authority. So Texas has to abide by the government stuff, of course. But when it comes to Texas telling the providers this is what you have to do, they said we are not doing that anymore. New York has a board that meets every single year, sets the rate. It's called a rate case. And every year they set the rate, and that's exactly what you end up paying, right? Everyone pays the same rate across the entire state. Texas, that's not true. That's good. Texas, that's not the case. There's like 250 plus providers of electricity and gas in Texas, right? So when you have that, you started pretty much a price bidding war to a floor, right? That's artificially set by demand. So if demand's very high, that floor is insanely high, and then you pay. Everyone's paying that. That's exactly what just happened. So gas got to $9,000 an MMBTU, which is, let me just put it this way, gas is normally at $2.50. Okay,
Wow.
like natural gas. So you can imagine. I mean, that's fucking insane. So going up almost 45,000%.
So when you got gas during the hours of like the rolling blackouts, they were
You're
upcharging people.
insanely upcharging. So the people who could drill natural gas were making $9,000 to $10,000 MMBTU, which is like
Sweet.
obscene. I mean, you're probably making close to $100 million a day selling natural gas.
We should have gotten in on that.
Well, it's already taken care of. There's nothing new you can do in natural gas.
So these are like major scams, though. People can't pay this shit.
That's correct. So that's why I'm saying the energy companies are going to spread the cost to everybody over the next 30 years. That way, that's how they get their money back. And you won't notice.
This is bizarre then.
Well, it happened in California. So Enron, I don't remember, Enron shut off California's energy.
Enron,
right?
it was like, what year, 2000?
I know. And so California.
I'm saying I was fucking 9 years old. What was I don't remember?
Well, I mean, I remember this because my uncle worked as a lawyer for Enron.
Of course, I have a guy that knew a guy. I know these stories. I was the head of a guy that knew a guy that worked at Enron, and he was actually the guy that leaked the papers that said Enron was all a fraud. And then I knew the guy that prosecuted Enron, and then I knew his son, and we went to college together, and he started Enron up again. I work for Enron now. I don't want to hear any more of these fake news stories.
It's
you either
true.
don't know them or you don't know them.
No, my uncle did.
Your uncle worked for Enron.
Yeah,
was he part of the scam?
No, but he was part of their general counsel. So he was like, he knew everything that was going on, right? Afterwards, I mean, obviously he didn't know anything.
But he part of the general counsel too. I got a lot of general counsel members on my family board of trustees.
Well, I want to meet them. But the thing was, like Enron, because of that whole thing, California for 30 years, right? So they're still doing it, is paying for the upcharge they had to pay for because of those rolling blackouts, right? So energy at that time was like almost like $15,000 per kilowatt, right? So normally it's like in the cents, right? You're usually paying like 0.00 something cents per kilowatt.
Things. Yeah, I believe you. Whatever you tell me right now is the truth. We have no one vetting any of this information.
I mean, you can Google it. It's true.
What am I going to Google? I mean, out of my way, Google right now. We don't have that. We can't afford those kind of people on this podcast. What do you think we are?
Well, we could just Google Enron California energy crisis.
James, now that you're on, you got to Google some kilowattage. Actually, you don't. We're taking Dela's word on it.
I just tell you. So
Enron did this already.
Right,
like
so California,
lesson.
It is. So because of that, California had to pass those costs on to the consumers, right? And so they said it's a 30-year rate case, and this is exactly what's happening. So California people are paying for Enron's like malfeasance.
Are they mad about it? Who did we blame? We were in California. I was paying it, I guess. I didn't even think about it.
You blame Enron, which doesn't exist. So
I'm not going to blame Enron. Oh, we got Mr. Johnny M&M over here.
Yeah, I just got off that meeting.
Comes in, gets roasted. It's a classic James. Jen, we've been going crazy already. We told him about your beef. We told him about your
underwear beef.
We told him about your situation that you found yourself in with this Joe Smalley story that is coming up.
Did you text him?
No, I didn't text him. We decided that you need to text him because I don't actually know him.
It's on you, brother.
It's on you, brother.
Who decided that? You and Dela?
Yeah, me and Dela.
Perhaps.
That's not the agreement we came to last night. Danny's going back on an agreement that we had.
Well, we're over that. All we know is that the truth needs to come out, and you gotta prove the truth, right, Dela?
Right, that's right. The burden of proof is on the underwear cutter. So that's y'all.
James, you got to prove that underwear was stuck on his head through no reason that you know of. Your mom came up and cut it off his head. That's the facts that we have to prove here, and that's what we got to get to.
Yeah, I talked to my dad today, too. I should have asked him about this underwear thing. There's no way I am the only one in the room. And like this is something I would make up. Like Joe's, like this kid put underwear on his head, and I came back like, what? Like, yeah, no, I don't know. Make that up.
I don't know why.
I don't know. People make up random shit, bro. Who knows?
I don't know why you made it up, James.
We live in America, bro.
I've been asking you this whole week why you made this shit up.
Anything Dan says is fake. It's not. Dan doesn't know what he's talking about.
But James, your mom didn't verify it.
I was there. Dan. Dan, I was there.
Wasn't your mom there too?
She was.
Did she cut it off his head?
She probably just doesn't remember. Or she didn't want to say it because she was too embarrassed that she cut this underwear off this kid's head.
Why would your mom be embarrassed?
It happened.
There's no
like secondhand embarrassment.
There's no knock on her reputation if she's helping your friend out.
Right.
Get underwear stuck off his head.
I love it.
We gotta get to the truth. We gotta get to the damn truth. Oh,
I just can't believe my mom said that it didn't happen. It definitely happened.
Oh, dude, I just know that if my mom cut my friend's underwear.
Almost started a text thread last night between you, Eddie, and my mom, and being like, "Mom, come on, you got to tell my friends that you cut this underwear off this kid's head."
That's hilarious.
It's just very upsetting that my friend would lie to me about something like this. James, your Wi-Fi is spazzing out like a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's like Butte Wi-Fi.
It's Butte Wi-Fi, and can you tell it to wake up?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Jiggle some cords or something.
Yeah, blow the cartridge.
Yeah, blow on the cartridge.
Is it still bad?
Yeah, it sucks. You're lagging like behind. Usually you're pretty on top of your face. Why don't you work on that for a little bit? Why don't you fidget with some stuff? Get up on your computer.
I'm gonna
call the governor.
Why don't you call the governor? Me and Dela are talking business. We're talking energy kilowatts.
I'm turning the Wi-Fi off my phone.
Oh, good. That will save you 1 kilowatt of fucking Wi-Fi.
No, megabits per second.
Megabit per second. I'm Dela. If we turn on all the water, then we'll all get Wi-Fi. And we'll all get the energy so we can power our houses. Dela, truth be told, Texas is dumb as shit. Let's be honest.
I agree with that. The way
you like it there.
No, I do enjoy being here, but I'm not saying that I would ever live here again. Like this, no, I can't. People here are too stupid. Dumb. Yeah, the government is run by morons. Right?
I have a question for you. I have a question for you then. Ted Cruz goes to Cancun, right?
Right.
No political consequence for this when he ends up running again for senator in 2024.
Right.
So, like, why do we pretend like there's, like, it's a big joke, like, we should make fun of him for it, but, like, this guy's, like, the ultimate clown.
I mean, he's the ultimate clown, but remember, he barely won back in 2018, right? And so I think that, like, him and John Cornyn, who's equally as stupid and, like, evil as well, like, both those two are awful senators, but they won because they had the R next to their name. Yeah. I'm telling you, when 2024 and 2026, when those two are up for, actually, John Cornyn will probably be dead by then, but whenever 2024, whenever Cruz comes up for election, I'm telling you, he's not winning that election. All right, I'm just telling you that. He's not going to win. I really think either he gets primaried or he retires or, like, he loses.
Okay, I'll give you that. If he gets primaried, like, maybe there's a chance. But you're telling me he runs again as a Republican, he's the nominee, he doesn't win?
I don't think he wins.
I'll call you on that.
Go ahead.
State's a bunch of fucking nutbags.
I
don't even know what's going on.
They don't, but 2024
they're probably cheering on Ted Cruz. Oh, 2024. God.
Bro, that's a long time from now.
Yeah, I know. It's way long from now. Ted Cruz is gonna be sitting there mumbling to himself in Cancun for the next 3 years.
I think he's gonna try to run for governor or run for president again. Like, he's gonna do something, and hopefully he has to get. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, his PR is just so, like, bad, and yet he doesn't give a
care.
Fuck. I know
he doesn't care. Then why should he care?
Rightfully so. I agree, but I mean, it's like minorly inconvenient. I would be kind of annoyed.
Yeah,
it's not like he got to spend his time in Cancun anyway, so it wasn't really worth it. Like, I wouldn't care if I got to spend my vacation and people were pissed when I got back. But it was so bad that, like, you didn't even get to have fun. Why just wait another, like, week? It's not that bad.
That's true.
You're rich, like, calm down. I'm sure you could get power sent to your house and just sit there and, like, mumble to yourself with a weird mohawky haircut. Looks like an asshole. All I know is that I'm so sick of the Republican Party.
Well, they're not sick of themselves.
James, are you sick of them? They lost everything, and yet they're still, like, I feel like, dictating what's going on right now, which is nothing. We're in
Well,
like a complete standstill, and I just feel like, why? I feel like I'm the only one blabbling about the filibuster all day.
Ted Cruz's dog's name.
Like, what is it? Poodles?
No, Snowflake.
It's fucking
Dog's
hilarious.
name is.
Yeah, thanks, freaking buffer over there, James. Nobody can hear what anything you're saying. Dela already told me it was Snowflake. Get a grip. You're really being a real Montana ding dong right now. Anyway, on a side note, all I know is it's time to get rid of the filibuster, Dela. That's all I ever really want to talk about.
You know what? I'm telling you, bro. You're noticing stuff's happening in government now. So
what? What
do you mean?
Stuff's happening?
We're getting that
repealing. Okay, two things.
The $1.9 trillion bill is going to be passed on Friday.
No repeal of Trump's stuff, and no budget reconciliation.
Repeal of what? Wait. Repeal of what? Of
I'm saying when your stuff saying stuff getting done. I'm saying not including reversing Trump's nonsense or budget reconciliation. What stuff is getting done?
Well, they have to approve a budget chair first. So that's. So hold on. So the budget chair that's the issue they have right now because the people have problems with her tweets, which is hilarious, but whatever.
You're saying getting the OMB.
You need a budget chair to approve this whole thing. So I mean,
no, but that's not. So that's not getting done.
Well, no, they think. I mean, Biden thinks it'll be done by Friday. So
she's not going to get approved.
Well, he thinks he can get around it. Like he thinks he can get her approved. So
I think he thinks he's going to have to nominate someone else. Manchin already said no.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. If not, then she has to. They said they're willing to put her in a place where she doesn't need to be approved by Senate. But anyway, I will say that on the reversal of Trump stuff, though, I think that there's some stuff that they should obviously are reversing by executive order, but other stuff it has to be done through Congress, man. Like they're gonna have to. I mean, they're gonna have to, huh?
What?
I mean, if they want to repeal some parts of the Trump tax cuts.
That doesn't need to go through Congress. That's straight through. That can go right back through budget reconciliation like it went through before.
Yeah, but I think now
they're not going to do one damn thing. You're out of your damn mind. If you think that they're going to put nothing is going to pass through Congress because nothing will pass through the Senate. So it's irrelevant. Name me one piece of legislation that's going to get 60 votes in the Senate to pass through filibuster. What?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't.
No. What? No. There's no. We'll see. I'm telling you, it's zero. Not one thing. They won't get through this $1 trillion COVID bill. Imagine a voting rights bill.
I know, but
imagine a climate change bill.
Well, I mean that's going to have to be.
That's about rising. We're going to get a lot of.
But you got. I mean, I'm not doing wrong. I'm not optimistic saying Republicans are going to acquiesce.
Nothing will get done.
No, but I'm telling you, man, there are
one thing
that I think. To be honest with you, I think, in my opinion, I really do think that there's a way. Just listen. There is a way for them to revise immigration as a group, right? And if they think about ways to fix immigration and also ways to fix child poverty, right? I think, dude, I'm telling you, there are ways, man.
We voted for these people to do 5 major things, and yes, immigration reform is one of them, but not a fake Republican lesson shit bill, real immigration reform. So there's no way that real bills that we voted for these people to do are ever going to get passed in this Senate. True or false? We'll see. They can't get people to vote to even start impeachment. They don't even think it's constitutional.
Look, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Tell these people won't even vote to have a hearing on impeachment.
I know. But look,
they'll totally vote for some climate change bill.
No, I didn't say that.
So, but that's a big thing that people that voted for Joe Biden wanted.
Yeah, I know, but they can get climate change will never be something Republicans agree with.
Great.
Because they're all sponsored by the oil lobby.
So exactly. So what do you do? Give up on that?
No, I mean that you have to figure out whatever ways.
Budget reconciliation.
I guess if that's what it takes for climate change, sure. But I think some other things.
So okay. What's another thing? Let's put another thing through budget reconciliation. Oh, the $15 minimum wage budget reconciliation.
Now
right?
that one was interesting because I think the $15 minimum wage argument is very, very interesting. I understand why a lot of Democrats are against it. right? I get it.
You mean Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema?
It's a lot more than you think. So I'm telling you,
if it comes through as part of the bill, they'll push it. No, through budget reconciliation, they'll vote 51, excluding those two.
Right, we'll see. But I think that more Democrat senators are more skeptical than you think about the $15 minimum wage, especially because I actually agree with Joe Manchin's point about the fact of like thinking of how to scale that minimum wage by state. Right, so
I'm okay with that too. But do you think that 15 should be the probably in reality right now? If you took into account inflation, do you really believe that 15 is the actual correct wage?
No, it should be 20. It should be $22.
Right. So what are we talking about? So if you're Joe Manchin, you say, okay, well, it should be prorated to the amount of income that the state actually makes. It should be prorated per state based on the actual annual income of the residents there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think 15 is going to be do you think 15 is still it's going to be the middle ground where you're like, oh, well, actually, we only need like 10 here? Or do you think 15 is probably the lowest of any state that they're actually going to need?
I mean, I think 15 is the lowest of any state, but the problem not problem.
So let's get real. Let's let it go through.
But I'm telling you, the bigger
if anything,
issue,
it should be 20 something. You're right. In states like New York and California.
But I think
that's not going to happen.
But here's what will happen. That bill will be challenged straight to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will vote in favor of Donald Trump and the Republicans. That's why you can't. That's why you have to listen to Manchin, because he's right. There is going to be you can go and enact that minimum wage. The Supreme Court in a year and a half, when it comes back to their docket.
You're telling me that you're going to make decisions based on what the Supreme Court will and won't vote down? Then you're never going to get a climate change bill ever, because they're going to pass. They're going to knock that shit down too.
Climate change is a little different.
You have to do things regardless, because you can always deal with that after. You could also put some more people on the Supreme Court. You're not going to do things because of the Supreme Court.
By the way,
Obama. That's Obama speaking.
I know, but I'm telling
you.
But I'm telling you, by the way, I don't think they ever add a single justice to the Supreme Court. I really don't. I've thought about that a lot. And I told you this beforehand. Remember, we talked about this before the election, and I said court packing is not the way to do it, because you never know. These people actually, if you notice in their rulings, are actually more centered than you think, right? Like even Kavanaugh's moved to the center in some respects. So you just never know. You never know. Like,
I'm not saying whether they're center or not. I'm just saying that if we're all assuming that decisions on legislation are going to be on whether the Supreme Court knocks it down or not, like then you have a problem, right? Because then you're basically you're allowing them to legislate from the bench, and you're not legislating yourself.
But that's how Trump was doing it. Trump was doing it based on whether he thought he'd win Supreme Court case. That's literally what he was doing.
Trump
and he was right
based on what he would win a Supreme Court case.
No, I'm saying like the stuff that he would pass, right? Like remember the Muslim ban? Like he kept tweaking it. Him and Stephen Miller and Stephen Bannon kept tweaking it.
He didn't give a flying fuck if that ever stayed reinstated or not.
No, he did. That's why he kept reissuing it and reissuing it.
Dela got reversed as soon as Joe Biden became president. He didn't.
I know that.
If he really wanted it to be a sustaining law that lasted for a long period of time.
He didn't want that. He just wanted it lasting so long as he was president, and it did.
Which it did.
It did. It did.
But to be honest,
he beat the Supreme Court.
You could have also waited out to long enough where by the time it got to the Supreme Court, it would have been the same outcome. Let's be real. How much time did he really gain before it got to the Supreme Court and was allowed versus what if it just run its course when Joe Biden took over? What's the added time that he got out of that?
I mean, he probably got an extra year out of it. I mean, that's a long time to be banning people.
I don't think so. The pandemic started in March. When did that Muslim ban come in, and when did the Supreme Court take it on?
Muslim ban came on almost instantly. That was like one of the first things that man did.
When did the Supreme Court take up? Yeah, I know. It was his first thing.
I thought it was 2018. The Supreme Court took it. Took that case. So like
2018 would have been the. No, didn't the Muslim ban? Oh, right, the Muslim ban came before. Right.
So I mean, he gained an extra year of just like bullshitting around. But I'm saying that's the gains.
This is the Republican. This is the Republican priorities right now. Okay, let's talk about real legislation, not Muslim bans. Like, let's talk about real stuff. I mean, this guy's a lunatic. I can't get into like specifics about nonsense that he was doing on the side of whether it lasted or not. But I'm talking about real legislation. Trump didn't really get any real legislation done.
Of course not.
The tax cuts were great, but that was through budget reconciliation, right? The Supreme Court justices, they already got rid of the filibuster for it, so that didn't really fucking matter. My question is, when you're not going to. I mean, Manchin and Sinema aren't going to get rid of the filibuster. It doesn't sound like. I mean, some filibuster reform would be nice, but what I think you need to do now is you're already losing. Every day that the filibuster goes on and blocks all this legislation is going to be like each day that you're just slowly losing to 2022. What I would do now is just get Manchin and Sinema to like, okay, I think I know what they're doing. They're waiting for some bill that's like a voting rights bill that the Republicans are going to block because that's literally the opposite of their entire campaign strategy, as you can see in Georgia right now. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to try to say, oh, okay, then let's make it about voting rights. Let's make the filibuster about voting rights, right? Republicans don't want it. Democrats want it. And we'll have a fight over voting rights. And then are you expecting Manchin and Sinema to say, like, voting rights are, it's like what they want is no vote by mail, you know, no bipartisan gerrymander, like line drawing for the congressional districts. Like the things that they want that are going to be in that bill, HR 1, are not going to be like what Republican counterpoints are going to be to those that Manchin and Sinema are suddenly going to be like, those are too outrageous. We have to end the filibuster now. What I'm saying is, like, Joe Biden's not going to get a damn thing done of what we voted for him unless they get rid of this filibuster, unless you want to just keep putting shit through budget reconciliation, which don't you get to only do that twice per year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we get 2 years until 2022. So we get 4 budget reconciliation plans. Is that it?
I mean,
okay.
Look. Yeah.
All right, so let's just do it. Let's just put a bunch of shit and anything that even has some kind of remote. I actually think that they had Trump did that even for the pipeline to Alaska. Yeah. He like pushed that through budget reconciliation. So I'm not really too concerned about pushing random stupid shit through budget reconciliation. You have to have some semblance of being related to revenues and expenditures. I mean, everything's related to revenue and expenditures. Right. I'm just saying this is by far the stupidest way to legislate stuff in the entire world is that, your regular way of doing things is completely blocked. So you actually just put random shit through budget reconciliation, stuff that you want to put through the regular process, but there's a loophole this way, so we just put it through this process. And we're going to do that 4 times over the 2 years, and hopefully everything in there gets voted on. Are you going to put a voting rights bill through the budget reconciliation? Probably. You probably say, the funding for more poll stations and all of that will be part of the budget reconciliation. I'm sure you could make everything is related to money in some bizarre, regular way, right? Like, early voting, we give all the funding for workers to work this time, and it's built into the budget reconciliation, right? It's like we have tax money that's allocated to poll workers and to early voting machines. Like, I don't know, couldn't you put everything related to money in this country? Yeah. Everything is related to money, even if it's a social issue or even if it's something as important as voting, right? It's just so absurd that you can push all this nonsense through budget reconciliation, but you can't actually legislate it. Kind of fucking stupid shit is that?
It's America, bro.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, this is why I'm saying end the filibuster. It's so dumb. It's like ridiculous, and now you're not going to get things done. Do you see Democrats having a chance in 2022?
I mean, I told y'all no.
If you're going to end the filibuster, the first thing they should do
is
end the filibuster.
Wait, you say what did you just say? You cut out, you lunatic. You said the first thing they should do is end the filibuster if they're going to do the first thing. This bitch keeps cutting out. I haven't gotten a goddamn word in with this number. Yeah, you better call in, you little skank. All right, get off the damn phone. You're driving us all nuts. Anyway, you're right. It would be funny if Republicans take over both the Congress and the Senate and end the damn filibuster.
Right.
No, but I actually heard a hot take. It wasn't a hot take. It was a good take. It was that the reason why Mitch McConnell would never want to end the filibuster is because then he would actually have to do things that he promised. And right now, the idea of getting to blame the Democrats for nothing getting done is like the perfect alibi. So it actually always works in his favor to keep them out. Oh, they're just filibustering us. We would totally get that done. But you know what? If they owned both and they didn't have the filibuster, no way they would vote on any of those stupid ass ideas that they come up with in Congress.
No way.
So they just get to complain that they are not letting them happen, which is another great strategy of stupidity. But why are we playing that game? Because we want our things to go through.
I have no idea.
Democrats want our things to go through. Republicans don't want their things to go through because they're stupid ideas. A lot of the stuff, if you let the Republican Party now in Congress come up with laws that then they wanted the Senate to push through, oh my God, they'd be so freaking dumb. All anti-abortion nightmare bills, psychotic gun laws, like, oh my God. All I know is that shit doesn't get passed through the Senate. It just doesn't, which means what is the point of the filibuster? Riddle me that. To not pass shit through?
I mean, before it's a really good check on power, which I think it is. But now it's being used as like a nuclear football, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of what it's being used as.
Why not just have it as why not just have it as people can't, they can't talk. I mean, they can talk for up to X amount of time, but it's not forever, right? So eventually we vote on it, right? The whole 60 comes into play on cloture, right? Where you can stop people from talking forever and they don't even bother getting there because it's basically like, if you're going to assume that they are going to do that, then what's the point in even doing it? Because then we're just going to have to wait for people to talk forever. But why don't you put limits on them talking if the whole point of talking is to deliberate or whatever the fuck they're supposed to do in the Senate? I don't know. What are they supposed to do there? Deliberate and to have discussions and be more of a deliberative body than the Congress?
Well, the reason, yes, and the theory is more of the Senate is going to have more discussions that have less impact on their political future, right? Because if you do anything you have 6 years, so that's the whole point, right? It's to have grown-up discussions, as my uncle used to call it. So I think
discussions nonetheless.
Right, but nonetheless, right. But I think that, to your point, though, a lot of these discussions are now becoming more of just is it good for the base, right? It used to be, is it good for the people? But is it now? It's is it good for the senators are thinking like the Congress people are, which is a bad thing, right? Which it should never be that way. But now they're in this mindset of we want to win every election every 2 years. And now the senators are stuck in this mindset, and now that's why we have gridlock.
Right. So we're done. But it's a loss. It's like a lost cause. What I'm saying to Dela is, okay, let's accept the facts. It's all bipartisan. I mean, it's all partisanship. Nothing's going to get done. You're on one side, you're on the other. Every decision you make is for the base. So is that a thing we can accept, or Manchin and Sinema are going to keep us from ever accepting that? What do you do? What's the move for Democrats? There's somebody smart. You said to listen to the smart people in the party. Well, maybe we're the smartest people in the party. What's our advice? What's my advice?
I mean, the advice is you just have to be patient. That's it.
Patient for what?
I mean, you just have to be.
Budget reconciliation.
Yes, I mean you just have to be patient. I mean, a lot of people want action now, but I'm I've always said this about government. It's not one of the things where you're just going to get your action immediately. Biden is here because he wants to. He says he wants to at least try. Let him try.
What are we trying?
He's trying to see if you can get the if he's trying to see if he can get the stuff through Congress. Let him try and see if it happens. If it didn't happen, with the $1.9 trillion bill, he said, you know what? F it. I tried and it didn't work. I'm going to do now the way I want to do it.
Okay, so that's your threshold then. Your threshold is the COVID relief bill. If we can't get that through, God only knows what's going to happen to a climate change bill, a voting rights bill, an immigration bill.
That's correct.
It's all bullshit.
Exactly.
So we couldn't even get a COVID relief bill in.
Right.
So, do you think Joe Biden's actually going to do this? So, okay. All right. You know what? Let's get the COVID relief bill done, and then let's see what's next.
I mean, yes, but we'll see.
It's such bullshit. We have so much to do, and just fucking around pretending somebody's going to come on board to the other side is so fucking dumb.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. You can't. I'm
telling you, somebody's got to fight for this bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm not voting. I'm literally voting for every Republican on the ticket in 2022. I would rather die than watch another useless morons. Because you know what? The Republicans cause havoc and lie and do whatever they want, and then the Democrats say no, we're going to actually do things, and then what? They're just back in the same damn boat. The reasoning is so dumb already. If you're telling me Manchin and Sinema don't want to get rid of the filibuster, that's why I'm not going to get rid of it. Then sit down with Manchin and Sinema and say this is life. Every day, start the torture campaign. I mean, why are we going out why are we just going to go out and just say, fine, then nothing gets done? Why don't we make fucking Sinema and Manchin the enemy of the people? Hey, you want all this stuff done? We did it. We're ready to go. Joe Biden's in. The whole Democratic Party is in. We're passing the bills. These two on our side are fucking it up. So make them common enemy number one. Make them go Republican then, and then we can at least blame someone. Why are we going out not doing anything?
Again, you have to remember. They're thinking Democrats are thinking interimly long strategy, right? Because 2022, I told you before, they narrowly won that majority, bro. Narrowly. All right. Republicans are right there. So you can try to jam all you want down people's throats, but they understand that if the Republicans, especially get rid of the filibuster and the Republicans win the House and the Senate, forget it. You're going right back to 2010 to 2016 under Obama.
Let's do it. I'm okay. If the Democrats and the filibuster pass all the legislation that we asked of them to do, and they end up losing both the House and the Senate, then the people have spoken. And if they want to go in and the Republicans take over and they make a fucking mockery of everything and just pass through all the stupidest shit, which I don't think they will, because I actually don't think McConnell wants any of that stupid shit passed. In reality, I think it's all just talk. But if they do decide to do that, so be it. Then we all rest on our laurels. I'm not going to sit here and in 2022 we pass all this legislation that I thought the people wanted that voted for them. Then we lose both houses, you're saying, in 2024 because we lose 2022. 2024 comes, we lose again. We lose after passing all the Stop it. Just stop it, Dela.
You never
passed
know,
the voting rights bill. Everybody's allowed to vote. Look what happened in Georgia when you let people vote. Stop already. If you have automatic voter registration, you're not losing. Pretend. If we do, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong about everything. Okay, the voting rights bill got everyone to vote, but they lost. It turned out having more people vote was detrimental to Democrats. Okay, then I don't know the country at all, and we're fucked. But I don't believe that because Georgia literally opened up voting to more people, and they turned blue. Right. Georgia turned blue by making it easier to vote for people.
Right.
Don't think that's bizarre?
I will, again, like I said, and I told y'all about Georgia in the sense of they narrowly went blue. Y'all keep, people say that. They
narrowly went blue because of voting, but solely because of voting.
11,700 vote difference. That is, bro, that's as close as it's going to get.
That's from a red state.
I know, but I'm just saying, bro.
That's from a red state.
But just listen though.
Okay.
During the general election, right?
Yeah.
So you look at the results, right? They voted blue for Biden barely, but they voted red for their senators on general election day, right?
Right.
Yes. On the runoff, of course, it flip flopped, right? They both of them barely won by 1% and 2%, right?
Okay.
All you need in Georgia, that's what that showed me though, is that Trump was the reason why neither of those two. Oh, no, neither. Sorry, Trump was the reason why. What's that dude's name? Purdue lost the opportunity to get 50% majority, right? Because remember, he ended up with 49% of the vote. So, if you really dig deep into the math, bro, this ain't over. People are like, "Oh yeah, Georgia turned blue. We can celebrate." I'm not celebrating. No, I know, but a lot of people in the news are celebrating. Yo, it's over. We did it. I'm like, nah, bro, you barely won.
But Dela, they're going. They know that. Everybody knows that, and the fact that right now the Republicans know that they narrowly lost. They only lost because their voter suppression act kind of got fucked up a little bit. But you know what they're doing now? Making sure we go right back to status
quo. Yeah, of course, adding more laws.
This is why you need a fucking voting rights bill.
Look,
I'm not saying that even with a voting rights bill you win Georgia. But at least you can be confident that if you have a voting rights bill where everybody gets the right to vote, if you lose because you didn't have a good fucking message or you sucked.
Well, look,
but right now, if you lose Georgia again, if all these voter suppression laws go through and you lose, You're not going to say we lost because we had a worse candidate with a bad messaging. It's going to we lost again because of the same shit why Stacey Abrams lost. It's the same reason why Purdue and Loeffler lost. It's because we opened up voting. I mean, what are we talking about? Do that for the whole state, and you're back in.
I will tell you, they passed the voting rights bill. That thing goes to the next Supreme Court docket, and I guarantee you they lose half of whatever's in that bill.
And if they lose what's in the bill, then that brings up the next. I mean, again, you have to go in and then fight the next battle. What you're saying is, well, the Supreme Court will knock it down, so let's not do anything.
No, that's not what I said. I said you have to be very careful about what you put in that bill.
Who gives a flying fuck? Put everything in there and see what happens.
This guy.
Dela, it's easier to deal with things after the fact when you have either public opinion might be different. You might want to impact the courts. I don't know what the hell you're going to be doing once it goes. Whatever it is, you throw the kitchen sink and then figure out what ends up sticking. You don't do this reverse where you go, well, let's plan for it, because you know what? They could fuck you on your stuff that you do think is going to pass, right? Aren't there going to be rights in the voting rights bill that could also get fucked?
Absolutely, of course.
So you're going to go small.
I didn't say go small. I just said go smart.
No, go smart. Go smart.
Go smart.
Go big and go bullshit. If you put everything in there and half it gets screwed, well, you got half the shit. If you put a quarter of it in and half it gets fucked, now you have half of a quarter. You got a fucking eighth. I don't know. Now you're fucked. I'm just saying, the Democrats always play this dumbass game. Just fucking do the shit that we asked you to do. If it gets fucked by the court, then let's blame the court. But right now we blame you. Everybody blames Democrats all the time. True or false?
They do, but I mean, we talked about the messaging part. They seem to have fixed that messaging.
Oh, seem to have fixed it. You know what I'm thinking right now? The messaging for me, Dan Numbnuts, who pays attention, I think nothing's getting done. Okay, now that's me who's paying attention. I don't see shit getting done. Reversing Trump shit is fucking great. Don't get me wrong, but gives a shit. Every fucking president reverses every other stupid president shit.
This is day 34.
Day 30. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic.
I know, bro.
Who has time to hold on? Texas is freezing to death.
I know,
Let's hold on to you people. You're the one slowing us down with your stupid. You need more relief, don't you?
Just hold on, bro. I think I've never like.
I got some things for you to hold on, Dela. I'm gonna hold on till 2022.
Just hold on, bro.
You're the Democratic Party.
Getting this vaccine. Look, getting this. They've proven their intellectual stamina and abilities with getting this vaccine rollout on turbocharge, right?
Yes.
So they've done an excellent job.
Thank God.
Right?
That's why I voted for Joe Biden partially.
I know, but they've done an excellent job. Of that. So let them. So they've done something, right? So
you want me to trust these people?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Just be patient. Government.
I'll do it. I'll do it. If I'm wrong, I'm never being patient again. Do you understand, Dela?
I understand that. But
if they let me down on criminal justice reform, if they let me down on systemic racism, doing something about anything in this fucking country, there's huge issues that are beyond the pandemic.
But people are
do it all at once.
No, remember when Obama came in? One at a time, bro. Obama came in. Everyone wanted healthcare. It took them 2 years to get that damn thing done. It just takes time. You
take time.
It just takes time. You just got to be patient with the government, man. The government never moves fast. It just can't. Too many constituents.
Really?
Yes, unless it's passing your own Supreme Court justice or a tax bill. Those two can be done very quickly. Aside from that,
stupid. Yeah, you should. How long are we going to wait? They waited forever for Jim Crow laws to go away.
Dylan's going to wait until we lose. Dylan's just saying, if you wait until the 2022 election, once the Republicans in power, the Democrats will get.
We gotta be the underdogs.
No, y'all
gotta wait it out. Dela,
y'all are twisting my words.
Dela, the attention span of the U.S. public is 5 minutes, which means you have 5 minutes to get everything done. Otherwise, I'm forgetting about it in the next 24 hours.
Yeah,
so
but
shut the hell up with the nonsense. What are we waiting for? What are you waiting for? You waited for the electricity to go back on?
No,
Let's work on that for your rolling blackouts.
I am
Ted Cruz over there.
look. I'm very patient, so I understand.
You're very
I understand.
patient.
Look, I understand how government works in that sense of like you're just not going to get this shit to be done quickly. I understand that, and I feel it. So that's why my expectations are a lot lower.
Mr. Big Government over here. I'll wait
I'm
with
not-
you,
I'm
Dela.
not-
Let's
I'm not
let's
big-
go to DMV while we're at it. If you like waiting so much. I got him, James.
I'm not big
DMV.
government. This guy is hilarious. I'm not big government. I'm big understanding.
Big waiting. Big waiting. This guy's big waiting over here. I'm over here yelling at them to get things done. Dela's over there telling them to wait longer. Dela, do everything at once right now. That's my message to these fucking idiots. People don't want to hear your bullshit.
I'm with it.
Yes. What are you going to wait for? Wait until we lose. I'm so
We've
sick
been
of
waiting forever.
we waited 4 fucking years. We waited 4 fucking years. Don't you remember Donald Trump? That was horrible, you son of a bitch.
4 years. Oh my God, longer than that. But come on.
I waited 6 years. The primary of that moron was rough too.
But the Biden administration was hamstrung because they had no transition. So
no more excuses.
I'm not giving excuses. I'm just telling you the truth. So
I know it's the truth, and I'm over it now. We're moving on.
So it just takes time. It just takes
time. My life is taking time. Every day that I sit here with none of the shit that I went to stupid fucking Georgia for these people, for the opportunity. I went to that stupid state with their stupid voter suppression laws and their stupid people that they have there. And I went there for what? Dela, that lunatic. What's that lunatic lady? She's from that wackadoo state. What's that wackadoo? Marjorie Greene?
Yeah, she's from Georgia.
Yeah, I went there. I went to that stupid state. And I made phone calls to other states. And you know what it was all for? For them to do something, not for me to wait another fucking year.
I understand that. But I'm just telling you.
Okay, I'm starting a new political campaign. James, are you in with me? It's called No More Waiting. And we walk around and we yell about how long we have to wait for things to do things. No more waiting. What are you, in or out?
Waiting. We got to pass everything. We got to pass it now. You got to put voter rights
so long for this stuff to even go.
Get rid of the filibuster. Get voting rights.
Yes.
Get people to actually vote. And then, I think if you actually got most people to vote, you would the people who vote now are right-wing nut jobs because that's who they're selecting to vote.
Yes.
They're selecting the population that are going to vote for them, and you need to select the population that actually should vote, which is everybody, and everybody should vote, and you get that in place, and then all of a sudden you're not going to be dealing with these fucking Ted Cruzes who are flying to Cancun and living off the government buck and being total pieces of shit.
Agreed.
You know.
You had Republicans
people
supported
Bernie
vote by
Sanders.
mail.
People want that. People want AOC.
No, Republicans voted for vote by mail before it became a thing used by Democratic
Well, I mean, of
voters.
course. They used it because it was for the military.
But I'm saying they support it as well because their base as well as the military, but also for old people to be able to vote by mail was what their constituency was using. So, of course, but this is insanity. This is my point. They're only doing things that are beneficial for them, but yet the Democrats won't do things that are beneficial for everyone.
Yeah, but I think you're taking that in a vacuum. But I would say
the vacuum is what, Dela? Republicans do what they need to do for their own voter suppression stuff and their own voters to come out while everybody else doesn't. Democrats are trying to get. Democrats don't care. I mean, I know they obviously only want Democrats to come out, but they're not going to do things that are going to make less people vote ever. Name me what Democratic ruling what Democratic ideology comes out and says less people voting because we're going to pinpoint these people, these Republicans, to not vote. In what capacity? How do you even do that? How do you suppress a party if you're trying to get everyone to vote?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not Stephen Miller. I'm not going to give you that answer.
I'm saying it's because if you're really trying to get everyone to vote, there's no way to target a certain group. You need everyone to fucking vote. Democrats know that if people vote, they win, which is true. It was proven out in Georgia, and it's true in reality. You have to get people to vote. HR 1 is really it. I would say throw away the filibuster just for that law to go through. Because you're right. If you don't have people voting, then we're stuck in this forever. We're stuck in QAnon and voter suppression and redistricting and partisanship, gerrymandering and wackadoo nonsense forever. So okay, so let's just accept losing forever.
I mean, and oh, you totally. By the way, I totally forgot about this. That you're mentioning the gerrymandering, right? Because Republicans control almost all their drawing of states, right? Yeah. In this country, so you can pass a Voting Rights Act. Redistricting is already done for this entire decade. So what does it matter? That's my question to you. What does it matter?
No, it always matters.
I'm saying, but I'm saying if you pass that now, like it's not going to have any impact for 10 years. So what does it matter?
But all this stuff.
It matters because 10 years from now we're still going to be dealing with this bullshit.
No,
if we don't say like.
I think they haven't drawn the
lines. If we don't start
now,
now, it's never going to happen.
I agree. Also, when you can determine when you want to implement these
trust me, it'll be done within the next 2 years.
Well, the redistricting.
Yeah, of course, they'll do it very.
I know
quickly.
They're ready to pick up six congressional seats just from redistricting.
That's correct. Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying we're still not doing anything about it. So we're going to wait the next whenever you implement.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you what's the rush. That's what I'm asking. Like.
The rush is we need to see things being done now because we have a very short attention span and we have very high expectations. We had 4 years of Donald Trump that made people so angry that they actually got out and did something. People like me, who I don't really give a fuck, Obama, Mitt Romney, like, yes, there's a huge difference between these people, obviously, but at the same time, if one got elected, I don't go, wow, it's the end of the fucking country. You know what I mean? I don't think this is the end of the fucking country if Mitt Romney or John McCain is president. I don't say, oh, this is the end of our world. Yes, obviously there's a bunch of shit that they're not going to do that I want them to do that I'd rather have a Democrat doing. But at the same time, it's not the end of the fucking world. Now we have Trump and a bunch of fucking QAnon whack jobs, and it's really the fucking end of the country. And the Democrats don't treat it like that. They don't treat it like we fucking lost the fucking country for 4 fucking years. We literally lost it. Went to fucking chaos zone. We just had an insurrection at the Capitol for the end of the fucking era of Trump.
And the Republicans don't care. So
yeah, exactly. So we've already lost the country to that group of people. So why are we pretending to? Let's unity. Let's talk with them. Let's come to some kind of reconciliation.
Because
let's
I think
filibuster.
the thought process is somebody's got to do it, and the Democrats always feel like it's on them to do it. I mean, whether that's right or wrong, who knows? But I mean, George Bush was able to do it for like a year. You just I'm saying like be able to bring people together to do stuff, right? Like,
but it depends on on the group.
I think what they should do is they should do amnesty for these people. They should go up and they should have to apologize they should have to say, wow, I'm a real piece of shit for being involved in the insurrection of the Capitol, and it should be public, and like they should just videotape it and put it to everybody. Be like, I really thought that Trump was saying that like we should storm the Capitol.
Trump told me I gotta go into the Capitol and storm it and break all the windows. Like a scripted nonsense.
Yeah, I think they should do that. They should do a public shaming.
Yeah, I don't.
If they're shamed, if they feel free to be shamed, then they should get off.
Yeah, actually, I like that. I think it's an option.
I would never do that.
No, you wouldn't take it. But I'm saying
I would never offer that.
But would you storm the Capitol?
No, I would take it. A public shaming.
No, it's useless. Absolutely useless.
All right, James, N5 lashings.
No, I don't think it's useless because maybe they wouldn't be swayed by it, but maybe somebody else would be.
Throw in prison. I have no.
Yeah, I say let him sit in prison. I'm
sorry, bro.
I mean, I want them to sit in prison.
How about both?
I do want them to sit in prison.
How about this? You got a prison sentence. You get a couple months off if you also do this speech in public.
No, here's what I want. I want them
all to be charged.
I want them all to be charged with felonies so they can never vote again in their states, right? Because most states.
Yeah, okay, that's fair too.
Republicans are going to open up a felony. You're allowed to do felony.
Yeah, you go backdoor that one, right? So go ahead and do that.
Florida suddenly opens it back up.
Right, exactly.
Want all the felonies.
Exactly. That's what I want.
Backdoor.
That's playing 3D chess, right? So you got to think like
some good 3D chess.
That's exactly right. So that's what I would do, right? I don't want these people getting these nice like sorry, and then Twitter forgets about it the next day.
I'm offering people 2 weeks off of prison sentence if they do the apology public. If you have anything over 6 months, I'm allowing 2 weeks for a shameful public apology.
I also want to throw them maximum security prison.
They need to be shamed.
Yeah, shame. I think everyone should just be like shame, and they have to sit there and sit in a chair.
Yeah, but see, I would if there were only like 10 of them, sure. But right now they arrested 200, so I don't know that's what I'm saying. Like, what impact does that make?
And they should have to register like sex offenders.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
That's good. But you're on a list.
But a lot of them are already on the no-fly list, which is kind of nice. But I mean, what does that mean?
No-fly list.
Well, that's good, but they should have to go and tell their neighbors, like, hey, like, nice to meet you. I just moved in, and I participated in the insurrection in the Capitol.
Right.
Yeah. I participated, and I really screwed up. I screwed up big time. I'm ashamed. Shame. And I can't vote anymore.
Yeah, they should have to say that, too.
I don't think 200 people off the voter rolls is meaningful, Dela. They get rid of that in like one voting law in like one little county in Georgia every month probably. They scrub the voter rolls of everybody, of all the black people monthly. I think that will counter off your 200 Oath Keeper fucking Proud Boy numbnuts. All I'm saying is I'm done waiting. By the next time we have this next podcast, I want another piece of fucking shit passed. Okay, that's it. Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Wow, you
semi-weekly. Whatever the stupid phrase is. You can use it both ways.
You must be playing video game Senate because I don't know how that's going to happen. But
the Senate's done. There's no Senate. It's either we're going to do this stupid budget reconciliation for everything, or we're going to get rid of the filibuster, and Manchin and Sinema are going to be publicly shamed like the Oath Keepers and the other fucking group of idiots. I'm so done with these morons. I'm so done with it, but it's going to be great. I'm really excited for what the next couple months hold. But Dela, by God, I'm not doing a damn thing for 2022 if these morons don't pass all the shit that they promised we were passing. If they do a public shaming of Sinema and Manchin, and they end up being common enemy, and the Democratic Party did a good full effort to make them the people that are holding it up, so be it. I can live with that. That's not on them. But if it's not them, if it's they're going along and the Democrats are still not doing anything, I'm fucking done with these idiots. Done.
Right, I will see.
James, are you okay with that? Yeah, he's good. Haven't heard from that kid in years.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right, James, bro. We're gonna get an update from you. Next podcast of what happened with you and Joe. If you end up
with this podcast.
What do you mean with this podcast?
Why it was so fucked up?
No, we don't care about that. We want to know about you and Joe with the underwear on the kid's head.
I'm not texting this kid. That was your job. You said you were going to do it. I have photographic evidence of Dan saying he was all right. I'll text Joe. He said that, quote unquote.
Are you all right? You need to text this kid. You got to prove your innocence. I can't text him, James. I realized I don't even know him. You're the one that hung out with him and made him sniff your underwear. So you have to text him.
I didn't make him sniff my underwear. And we all agreed that Dan was going to text him.
All right,
we all agreed.
I'll text him. James, we're going to be in a chat.
And you were going to say that I'm real sick. That I'm a first responder and I have COVID or something.
I'm not saying you have COVID. I'm just going to say that, hey, James is trying to get me to sniff his undies. Do you have any past? Have you had any experience with James trying to get you to sniff his undies? Because he's making me do it now.
That's
what do you
funny.
think about that?
I can't wait to see
but
what
also
happens.
Not a good way to approach it.
I'm just going to be like, hey, Joe, remember me. It's James's friend, the underwear sniffer.
Wow.
For undies. Say just got
Sir Undies. He's not going to know who Sir Undies is. He was the one doing the sniffing.
I'm just saying, got a fresh pair of James's underwear if you're interested.
So you're just going to bully this guy?
I'm not going to bully him. You're the one that bullied him by making
it sounds like you're bullying him.
I'm gonna get to the truth here. Also, Dela, you should watch this show.
Yeah, get to the bottom of
Have you
this,
watched
man.
WandaVision by chance?
I have not watched any TV.
No, I haven't. You know what? I thought about watching it, and then
What channel is it on?
Disney Plus.
And I
Okay,
did
cool.
Disney.
Of course it is. Well, I'll check it out. I have it for free. I'll check it
It's
out.
kind of weird.
Is it worth watching?
I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I think it's kind of dumb, but you know what?
I mean, I see memes on the internet about it. So it must
People
be
are all
decent.
razzed up about it. It's the younger Olsen sister, not
Elizabeth?
Mary Kate, but what's her name?
Elizabeth. Yeah, I remember her from like the Olsen TV show, like back in the 90s.
Well, I don't know about that, but she's the main woman, Wanda.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. I noticed it when
Like Scarlet Witch?
Is that who that character is?
Isn't it the same person? Or am I thinking? Because isn't Scarlet Witch the one who is like,
you know this.
in
Who's
with
the
Vision?
one?
I have not watched the TV show. I just know who Elizabeth Olsen is.
Wanda's a witch?
But because it's Vision and the Scarlet Witch, I thought.
Wanda Maximoff. Who is she?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I don't know. It just says her real name. It doesn't say anything about her. Oh, Scarlet. Wait,
Wow.
is WandaVision Scarlet Witch? Yeah, you're right, James.
Yeah,
dude, why do you love Scarlet Witch so much?
dude.
Anyway, also you should watch Blown Away, Dela. It's pretty good. You get to watch glass blowing.
Oh wow, I want to watch Blown Away.
I know, you
Like
should
right
watch
now.
it. All right. Hit me up after this. All right, see you boys later. I'm done with this podcast. I'm exhausted. You guys exhaust me. James, your
All right,
bullshit
later,
better
buddy.
not fucking come up on the next one. This
Set up time next
Yeah,
week.
we'll
run
figure it
back.
out next time. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what was going on. It was awesome.
I love Montana and the cows and fucking Wi-Fi.